Hi, I'm Jeannie Kelly, your credit coach, and I'm really excited to have Patrina Dixon on today. Hi,
Hi, Janie. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm just super excited. So much I can learn from you, and I know everyone is going to learn today. So thank you for taking the time to be with us.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you, how did you get into the financial industry?
How did I do what? I'm sorry.
How did you get into the financial industry?
Yes. So, I tell this story often, and that is I was the one who made a lot of money and spent a lot of money, right? I didn't know what a good credit score was. I didn't know about investing in dividends and compound interest. So now, many years ago, I wanted to be a better steward of my own money. And when I started to do it and understood what it really took to do so, I wanted to tell everybody how to make it happen. So the way that I decided to do that is by creating a business in order to make that happen. So I got into the financial space by first tackling getting over my relationship, the kind of relationship I had with my money, and then teaching others how to do it. So I had the experience of my own personal situation, and then I got the necessary certifications to make me qualified to be able to go out and do so. So yeah, that's how I got started. Now it's almost 7 years in business, but doing it for myself personally, double digit years ago.
Right. Yeah. So your start sounds like my start because I always say I messed up my that's what to help others to go through that pain of, you know, the phone calling, you're scared to answer the door, open the mail, you're not sleeping at night, your phone gets cut off, then you gotta put it back on by paying, all those things I did.
Yes.
And and then you just start paying attention, right? And you make that decision to start, and then you have to learn, and then you're still learning some mistakes, right? To think you might know something, or you'll try something one mentions, and then it's the wrong info. And that's what made me say, I know the real deal. I want to share it with others. So
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I love that about you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because Jeannie, and I know you know this, it is not even that the task is hard, right? It's shifting the mindset that now you want to be intentional about doing things differently relative to your credit. But then it's about finding the information on how to make things different, right? And how to keep it that way. So once you learn it, the difficulty is not really in the task of how what it takes to make get it where it needs to be and keep it there. It's really the shift in the mindset about your money and how you're going to treat your money. But it's the actual knowing, the things that go into deriving your credit score, understanding what those are, and then working within is what I would call the easier part. It's having the money and the mindset should to be able to make that happen.
Right. And that's why exactly, right? Because
Mhm.
you can make the money spend, you can have better credit, you can have bad credit right over again, but
Yeah,
you have to
exactly.
learn and make it part of your lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. When I work with people, it's so funny. I was just in a workshop yesterday and people, once they do get to that certain number, whatever that number is, right? Let's just call it in the 800 club right now. Some people never make it there. Some people get as high as 760 or whatever it is, whatever they get to. But let's just say 800 club for now. They do not want to do anything to blemish that. So it becomes a thing where like I finally got to this great number and I am not doing anything to change it. So again, it's about what you learning and understanding what it takes to get there. And sometimes not that it's hard. Remember, I'm not saying that it will not take you time to get there, but once you do get there, do the task to get you there, have patience and get there, you're not going to want to blemish that. So normally once a client gets there, you really don't have to worry too much unless some catastrophic situation happens. And sometimes you then may have to not be able to pay certain bills or whatever it is. But that's a topic for a different day. But yeah, I get clients where like Like, I am not I'm paying extra early because I do not wanna have a late payment or anything like that, so I love when they get to that stage of it.
Yep. I agree. It feels so good, and we know what that's like because
Right.
we know the difference from not knowing pay attention to our money or our credit and then paying attention. Now, is your website. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, so my website is itsmymoney.info. So ITSMYMONEY.info, not .com.
Okay. And tell me about your course that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I do, because I used to work one-on-one with individuals and help them, go from wherever they are in their credit, in their journey financially and get to another within 90 days. But just due to what I do in the business now, which is more group and work businesses and clients, business clients, events, etc., I created a course where people can do, go about the course on their own pace. They can take it all in one day, they can go it over the course of a few days, and they can go back to it. It has lifetime access. So the course includes components because I like to call myself the financial fundamental lady, right? So there's people that
Okay.
do investing and trading and all that other stuff. I help people get that solid foundation in finances. And the way that I say that I do that is I teach them how to one, have a different relationship with their money, right? Have a different mindset about it. Then learning how to manage whatever it is that they currently have. So budgeting, right? And then you learn how to save, where to save, how to make the most out of your money being saved in a bank, like online only bank accounts. And then we go into credit, right? Credit, how to use credit responsibly. Because guys, people that think credit is bad usually have bad credit and don't understand how good credit can work well for them. It can actually help on their savings because if you pay less in an interest because your credit rate is better, you can use that amount you would have paid higher if you had a higher interest rate to increase your saving. And then some people just need to earn more, right? So
Right.
side hustles, how can you monetize skill sets that you have, things that you enjoy doing, and I teach them how to do that and how to think about that differently. And then if you want to be a full-time entrepreneur, then we go through that as well. So those are what I call the fundamentals. And once you manage that, have money management skills, like I said, master those, then you can go on to the other things like investing and taking some risks and that sort of thing. So I teach those fundamental financial fundamental principles within my course and any workshop that I do as well.
I love that. And I love exactly what you just said. Master the basics, right?
Yes,
Once you
yes.
master the basics with Patrina, and then you can branch out and keep learning more and more. That's why we have to
Yeah.
work so much more together, Patrina, this year, because everything you're saying, I have so many people in my credit community asking me about the budgeting and
Yes.
all that. And that's not something I definitely am so happy to have you on here and share your information because it's the basics to get you going in the right direction, right? Not being afraid of it. Yeah, why not have more than one? Because like that. I used to say, I'm the credit lady, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to be credit, credit, credit. Learn that you have to have more than one stream of income. And once in that, and then once seeing that change, and then you master one side hustle to another and have multiple streams.
Yes.
You definitely sleep at night, I'll tell you that.
Well, I listen, let me tell you, if people didn't understand that before, now people really should, and the reason why I say that is what we, the world, I would say, have experienced in the last few years as it pertains to the pandemic and the loss of jobs, the loss of lives, etcetera, and the why those I mentioned those 2 because in some situations, people didn't have control over them losing their jobs, right? Some people didn't, unfortunately, there were lives lost that may have been the primary breadwinner. So it's just reasons why you should have more streams to support your lifestyle and anything that may happen catastrophically. And then the other thing is people, the other thing that I find, which I welcome, is that a lot of people are now more interested than ever because of what I just named. They experience things that they never thought would happen. Even within my own business, my primary revenue generator was going out and teaching workshops in person. The pandemic said, "Huh? You're not going anywhere, and nobody's letting you in."
Right.
Or my state, I live in Connecticut, they just completely shut everything down, which is understandable and to be
Right.
safe. So I went a few months without any with well, I should say any. 1 month was without any, but then after that, like incremental stuff, because I had to quickly think of other things to continue, one, to serve my community, the population that came to me, but also make money, right? So then I had to then learn these platforms that we're on now, meeting people virtually in these spaces and things of this nature. But I by far love being in a room. I love the energy that the room generates. So I'm glad that I now can do that again. But yeah, you never know. So that's why I also encourage people to have at least one. I wish they had several forms of passive income where it's not like requiring you to take an action in order to make money. You can do that as well, but have one of your streams or several of your streams to be passive income.
Right. Yeah. I love passive income.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also, and also something I see because I'm watching you always on social media, and I love seeing you teaching high school students, college age. Tell me what got you into that age group? What got you, how'd that start?
Yeah, so Jeannie is this quote, and the quote is, "When you make an observation, you have an obligation." And as I started
Oh,
this, I told you my story that you also have. Had I known what I know or what I have been able to learn along these 7 years being in this business, I wish I had known it when I was a lot younger. Will call myself I'm doing well now. I'm living my best life, but I could have started living my best life a long time ago.
right.
I myself, my observation was this: schools, at least in the area that I'm in, Connecticut is one state that has not made personal finance required in every high school in Connecticut. I said, the observation is that's not happening. I have tried to work with senators, et cetera, in this area to make that happen. That hasn't been able to pass legislation. So I made it my obligation to do what I can for which schools would let me in, for which organizations would fund me having kids come in and learn about these concepts that they're not getting anywhere else. They're not getting it in school. Many of them are not talking about it at the dinner table with their families. So that I couldn't blame the next person if I didn't try to do anything myself. So that audience was one that I wanted to get to. And because the other quote, I love quotes, and that is, when you know better, you do better. And I was
Oh,
the one who didn't know. Now, it doesn't mean these kids that are knowing more than I did when I was their age will do exactly everything that I told them, but what I feel good about is the impact of sharing it with them, answering the questions they have that's top of their mind relative to the topics, and I'm hopeful that they would make better decisions, let's just call it that, because they got this. Going in a lot of decisions blind relative to money is what some of them were doing, and for the most part, their families too. So this not only helps them, it helps their overall family because when they know better, sometimes they can share. So,
right.
I'm wickedly excited when I have companies, foundations fund me doing, because it's so important. So they give me the money, which is great, right? But then it's like I gotta get
Right.
in the room because these things happen on a Saturday afternoon. I get a chance to go into schools, but when that's not the case, I gotta get the students interested to get in the room. So I literally pound the pavement. I go to schools, I go to games, I hand out flyers. So that part is the
Wow.
the not so easy part of it because you have to fill the rooms with the kids. But when they get in there, even on a Saturday morning, Jeannie, they don't want to leave. Like they don't
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So that goes to show you that when it's offered to them, it's something that they have an interest in because those kids literally question after question after question on the topic. That just shows me the hunger for wanting to know more about it. So I will continue to be the vessel to get it to them because I know how essential it is for them to have it at that age. And the more they refine what they're learning and actually execute on what's taught, then all the better for
Right.
all of us.
Of course. I mean, for when I'm gonna age myself, but school, I took a course bit and it was a non-Regents course. It was a course through high school,
Yeah,
and, we how to check and how do you open up a bank account,
that's right.
and said, guess what? We use those things all you have to learn how to save money, how to, uh, use your credit, but someone's
Yes.
teaching us, and then we're going to learn by usually making the mistakes. That's learn. Oh,
Exactly.
that what
Ex
I need to do.
exact I even have a chapter because I also have a book for that age group as well, how to write a check. Like, my daughter is 32, she has never written a check in her
Right.
entire life.
Yeah,
They don't have to. So
I
it
know.
and it doesn't mean that they will begin doing so, but in case that ever is a situation that you have to, you need to know how to do it, like literally write a check. Literally know the colored pens that you need to use and that it can't be a pencil. You know what I mean? Like you can't just make an assumption that they understand how to do that because how would they know if nobody's ever taught them how to do so? So yeah, so that's why. So the answer to a long way to say that's why the need. I know it's a need, especially in the various kids that I have the opportunity to teach it to. And again, I'm not just stopping there. I am still he would call it nagging our state senator, help make it required for all high school students to take a personal finance course. I have credit course, not an elective. I have requirement before
Right.
they graduate high school. You have many states across the United States that have been able to successfully do that, and hopefully it will happen in Connecticut as well.
New York happened here either. I think it's like up to 14, 15
It's
states.
14. It's 14, yeah.
Okay, so we've passed that along.
Yeah.
Th Tell everyone again where to find you.
Yeah. So again, I want to say thank you for having me on the show. My name is Patrina Dixon across all social media platforms. I am it's my money underscore. That's ITSMYMONEY underscore. My website is it's my money dot info. On there, if you're interested in any courses that I make available, you can find that on our services page. So yeah, you can check me out there. I also have free resources that if you're interested in budgeting and just getting started, I encourage paper and pen first before you go the app route. So you can go onto my resources page and grab a free budget sheet there as well. So it'll help you get your debt organized.
That is awesome, Patrina. Thank you so much. Yes, I can't wait to have you back on in the new year.
Yes. Thank you so much. I can't wait. Enjoy your holiday.
You too. Take it easy.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.